Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angela and this is La Luna Ray. So today I will be making Florida water with you. I will show you my personal recipe. I think it's a little different than most of the recipes that I see on YouTube, and I will explain all the reasons why I think mine is a little different, so stay tuned if you're interested. Got this really big, I think it was like half-gallon mason jar that I got at Michael's. It's nice, it's not too bad. Just kind of like pop the lid on and you can kind of pop it back off, so it's like really simple. I liked it. I already washed it with soap and water, so now I'm just gonna like dry it out real quick. What I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to quickly sage my whole jar. I want to really cleanse it physically as well as just any energy even off of it, right? I want to get everything off of it kind of starting brand new and fresh. I'm really excited about making this with you, just showing you my process and my recipe. I'm like really excited about it. So here I have my sage bundle. My sage bundle here is actually not just sage, it's eucalyptus as well as sage. So I've also already have like incense going. So let me just push it to the side because it's like really going. Okay, so I'm gonna get my Abilene shell, my bundle, and a lighter. So the point for, I think I already said this anyway, my goal here is I just want to cleanse my jar. I usually would do this like, I don't know, I would think off camera would be best, but you know, I think it's also good just to see the whole process too of cleaning it, soap and water, and then just really trying to cleanse it energetically as well. So what I like to do is really get my bundle in there, like all the way in there, and you can even see that little dance, right, of the sage filling. It's already like completely filling my jar, which is perfect. So what I'm gonna do is kind of pop that top on, leave it in there, and then I'm gonna cleanse all around it. Continue to cleanse the outside of my jar, and I'm going to roll my bundle away from me because I'm kind of ridding the previous energy away from me. I want to go on all four sides, and so I'm going to continually turn and wrap the bundle around, again going away from me. It smells like sage, if you've ever smelled sage. Okay, so that's perfect. So that's really all I need to do. I can kind of cleanse my area too, just a little bit, since I am doing, you know, I'm making something that I feel like is a spiritual, something I use in my spiritual practice. And so I do kind of want to cleanse my area, you know. I want to open the door a little bit here. Let some of that smoke out. Let some of that smoke out. Continue to sage my items I have on the table. That's perfect. So as my sage and eucalyptus smoke marinate in my jar, one thing I want to go over real quick is what Florida water even is, if you're not even familiar with it whatsoever. Florida water is something that's used in spiritual practice. It helps, it's a solution that you can spray or even just kind of put all over your body, it's a solution that is created that you can use to kind of anoint yourself or anoint your items with, that is with the purpose of ridding yourself and your items of any negative energy. You kind of just want to purify yourself or your space, the things that you're using. So that's what it's for. It can also be used, at least for me, the one that I'm creating for myself today, I'm using it for purifying. I'm also using it for not just purifying and ridding negative energy, but I also want to be sure to invite that good energy. I want to really invite God's loving energy into my space as well. And then I want to protect what I've created, kind of like the space of ridding negative energy, bringing in God's love. And then I kind of want to protect that. So there's a few components that I'm going to be incorporating so that I can ensure that that's exactly what my particular Florida water will be doing for me. So the components are cleansing, and the alcohol that we use, the Everclear, and I also have something called mezcal that I'll also be using. These things are really going to be the cleansing components. But then I also want to use the elements of nature. I want to use air, water, fire, and earth. So as far as the air goes, really, I will be I want to breathe into my jar. I really kind of want to, just like in the Bible when God, used his breath and breathed life into, Adam and Eve. That's kind of what I want to do. I want to breathe life into my jar. I want to breathe life into my Florida water, right? And then as far as the fire goes, I use, I burned my sage bundle. I had to use fire to do that. And so that kind of already takes care of the fire component. It even takes care of the air component because incense is air. But I want to go a step further. I will be adding some ash from my sage bundle shell, my Abilene gel. That's kind of like also going to be like the fire. So that's air, that's air, fire, and then water. I have some moon water here that I will be adding into it that will also represent the water elements. And then earth is all of my herbs and all of my essential oils that I have here on the table that you'll see shortly. And then my fruit that I also will be incorporating into my Florida water. All of these things really kind of cover my elemental aspects that I really want to incorporate into this water. And then for sealing this energy, for protecting it, the herbs actually are very protective. The properties that they carry will also be protection. But I also have my own petition that I have written out that I will be also, I have a way of adding it to my jar here, so I'll show you how I do that. And then just like my prayers that I really add in, I really want to seal and protect my intentions that I'm placing in for my Florida water. I make it very personal for myself, So yeah, let's get started. Hold on. So one of the first things I'm going to add the second I open my jar is I really want to kind of put in my breath of life into my jar. My own essence, my own... There's a fire truck out there. Anyway, I want to breathe in my own life force. Kind of just the first thing that hits this jar before I add all my other ingredients. Beautiful. I got all my smoke out now though. So that kind of sucks a little bit, but that's fine. I'm going to keep moving. So the first thing, oh gosh, here it is. So the first thing I want to add to my jar is all of my fruits. Now when I think of Florida water, you can go buy the Florida water at, I don't know, at any metaphysical store really is where you can buy them. But when you buy it, when you look at the ingredients, it's made with lots of fragrances. So I don't like that. When I make my perfumes, when I make all my body butters and my body oil, I hate fragrances. I really stick with my essential oils. And so, I think that's plenty. I'm just going to wash my hands for a second. So when I found that that's what they were using, I really could tell that that's just something I didn't really want to use. I wanted to kind of make something that's more of my own. And I really feel like Florida water should smell like fresh citrus. And so it's just a wonderful component. I've already made this before and I use fresh citrus and I absolutely love it. It's mind-blowing how good it smells. And so anyway, that's exactly what I wanted to incorporate into this one. And so I've got my citrus and now I'm going to go ahead and add all of my ingredients. And I will give you the correspondence for my ingredients very quickly, but they're all kind of the same. They're all purification and protection, like literally all of them. That's what they're for. This one is Arabic gum. So I'm going to use my little, can you see okay? There we go. So just a little Arabic gum. Arabic gum is actually really interesting because it's actual spiritual. Oh, that's my dog. Scared the crap out of me. It's actual spiritual protection and spiritual purification. So it's actually like geared particularly for the spiritual realm of purifying and protecting. So I really wanted to incorporate that one. So the next thing I have here is my bay leaves, and of course bay leaves are so important. I'm just looking at my notes because I don't want to forget exactly what everything is for. But bay leaves are protection, for healing. I just want to crumple up a little bit, kind of release that energy of them. Bay leaves are for protection and healing. You can use them for, so they're so multi-use. They're used for so many things. So sage, right? Everybody knows sage. And sage, I actually want to do something a little differently when I incorporate it into mine. I do want to kind of light it on, you know, kind of like adding that fire element that I was asking or talking about earlier. Look at that. It's gorgeous, right? I kind of want to add it in and kind of just, I'm going to put it out though. But kind of adding in that fire element, just making sure I'm getting in all of those beautiful components of all of the elements of nature. I love working with nature, and I love working with energy that nature provides. Eucalyptus. Now eucalyptus here is also for healing and protection. And eucalyptus is wonderful for healing. You know, that's it, pretty much what you think about when you're sick. You want something that's kind of going to open those nasal passages and all the things. So I love incorporating this into my Florida water because I feel like Florida water can be also viewed for healing. It's purifying, but it's kind of like just kind of healing the negative energy and getting rid of it that's around you, because negative energy can be taxing on your health as well. So it's something good to kind of make sure that you are incorporating. So here I have cedar. So cedar is also for purification and protection. Now when I think of cedar, I think of a strong cedar tree. So I feel like when I say protection, I really mean like it's strength, it's strong, it's tall, it can provide shelter. It's a strong tall tree. So of course protection and strength is what I see when I'm adding cedar into anything that I am making. So lavender, everybody knows lavender, and lavender is also used for purifying. Really, like it's excellent for purifying. Hold on, let me just read. Lavender. Oh, okay. So lavender is used for peace, purifying, and protection. So it's an excellent, and it smells so good, right? So it's an excellent herb to add to Florida water, at least for me. And here I have hyssop. Hyssop is like the god of the purifying herbs in the herb world. So you really want to, if you're going to be purifying something, if you want to rid something, if you really want something powerful and strong, you want hyssop. So go ahead and make sure you're adding that to your Florida water, okay? It's so important. It's a beautiful herb. You really want to add, like I love to add these to like my bath, like a spiritual bath, just purifying with some hyssop. You can't mess up with hyssop. Another thing I like to incorporate is my star anise. This is for purifying and protection, like all the other ones. So, and I love the smell of it. I love the smell of star anise. Star anise. So I'm gonna get that in. I'm almost all done. All right. So those are all my herbs. My herbies are in there now. All right, so the very next thing that I kind of want to get going here is probably the alcohol component. I think I'll do that next here. So actually, going on with all of my elements, I want to make sure I'm adding in my moon water. This moon water I just created under the Leo full moon, and I'm a Leo, so it's perfect for me, right? Anyway, I'm going to make sure I pour a little bit of it in. Not too much, just a little bit, because I really want the alcohol to be able to keep this big batch pure. So now that I've got my herbs in here, I've got my fruit in here, I've got a little bit of my earth components, my air components, fire components, and my water components. So really I got all my elements in here. I'm going to start to add my alcohol. And this is the cleansing part of my Florida water. And so I'm using Everclear, as you can see. Well, probably you don't see. But anyway, I'm using Everclear. I already have a video that I can link below as to why I'm using Everclear versus using rubbing alcohol. So if you are interested in that, please check that out. I think I'm going to probably use all of this. Perfect. All right, so that is all of my Everclear in there. Now, I'm also going to be adding something called mezcal to my Florida water. And mezcal is a it's from Mexico. It's derived from 100% derived from agaves. It's a smoky it's not tequila, but it's like a cousin of the tequila. So it's a smoky liquor made of agaves. And it's from Mexico, and really it's used in the spiritual practices in the Mexican culture and their shamans. It's actually such a looked at so with so much respect when it comes to the shamans and their spiritual practices in Mexico. And I really wanted to incorporate that into my Florida water. It's really important to me that I do that. So that's why I went and picked myself up some mezcal. I find the tradition to be so beautiful, and I love that there's a spiritual element to it all, and it has such a beautiful smoky smell. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, so I'm going to incorporate this as well. I want that smokiness kind of brought into my Florida water. Look at that. Perfect. Very good. Very good. I got a little orange peel that I want to go down further. I might have to add just a little more of my mezcal. But it's beautiful. Okay. So now I've got all of my alcohol, my herbs, and my citrus, fresh citrusy, fresh fruit incorporated into my Florida water. So there is something else that I really wanted to incorporate. I also want to add some fresh herbs that I kind of almost forgot about, but that's fine. I've got some rosemary here that I'm just going to pick off my little rosemary plant and add it in. Now, rosemary is excellent for protection and purifying. I mean, truly, I don't want to pick on that one too much. Truly excellent. So if you can find yourself some rosemary and get that in your Florida water, that's perfect. I want to add fresh herbs because I really want that life force to be brought into my Florida water as well. My life force as well as the earth's life force, right? I have some mint here. Now I already added, well, I will be adding some, and I don't have much mint on my little mint leaves. These guys are still growing, so I don't want to add too much. Just a little bit. Let me get these out the way. And my rosemary. And here I have thyme. Now I didn't even mention, I'm sorry, for mint. Look at my notes. Mint is great for healing, purifying, and protection. So it was great to incorporate that into my Florida water. And then thyme here. Thyme also for love as well. So purifying, healing, and it's as well for love. And I don't really need it for that with my Florida water, but I'm not mad at it. I will take it. We all can use a little more love in our lives, right? Excellent. I love having fresh herbs around because you never know when you can incorporate them into your little, our little concoctions we're always making. So let me put this away. That's a sad looking thyme, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe that's normal. Looks a little sad to me. Oh, here. Alright, so I'm just going to mix this in a little bit. Use my little spoon. Oh my gosh. It smells so good. Alright. Get in my fresh fruits. Oh my gosh. Okay. So, now as far as my essential oils go, I've got a few here that I'm going to be incorporating that I really want to like have a lot of it. So my first essential oil is the Palo Santo. It actually smells really good. And adding rosemary. Even though I added the fresh rosemary, I really want to still add the essential oil. I think the essential oils really give, and this one's also almost out, so I'm just gonna dump it. Perfect. I bet these little bottles are cute to keep for other things, right? Like if you make perfumes. All right. So I'm gonna also add some sage. Essential oil. It's not bad. I really want my fluid water to have a beautiful array of scents, but that's how I kind of smell. But mostly that citrus is all you really smell when you keep all the citruses in there the way I do. So this is lavender, just a little bit. I have white camphor. Now white camphor is also great for healing. Excellent for healing, excellent for purifying. So I really want to get that in there. And then I have, what's this? Peppermint. Even though I already put the mint leaves in there. Oh, wait a minute. Oh my gosh, I have like the littlest bit of peppermint left. Hold on. I'm just gonna dump it. There it is. Perfect. I use a lot of my oils. Like a little bit of everything left. Okay. And then my last one that I have here is tangerine. So really kind of bringing out that citrus scent that's already going to be in there from all the oils. So I probably don't even need the oil. Anyway, gonna give that a really nice stir. It looks good though. It's kind of amazing. I want to like squish my oranges. I want to like squish everything. Okay, but anyway, give that a good stir. With my hand. Now, another thing that I'm going to be incorporating is my Limpia mist. Now, Limpia mist is something that, again, kind of comes from the Spanish culture. Limpia means the clean, you know, cleansing, and so it's its own kind of mist, kind of like Florida water. It has the same qualities, but it's just different oils and different reasons why you would make it. So you look up Limpia oil or Limpia mist. But anyway, I'm going to be incorporating this into my Florida water as well. It smells so good. I really love it. I don't want to use too much of it. I mean, maybe just a little more. Perfect. Okay, so I've gotten all my essential oils. I've gotten all my all of my elements. I've made sure that's been incorporated into my Florida water. So the only thing left that I haven't done yet is add some not rose quartz. This is just clear quartz. So clear quartz is actually a stone that is able to magnify the intentions that you've already made for whatever it's being added to. So I'm just gonna dump a little bit. They're just little chips. Oh, it popped out. Pop in. All right. So adding my rose quartz is so important to me because I must have needed to add rose quartz today because I keep talking about it. Anyway, adding the clear quartz is an excellent addition to any oils or anything that you're making because it really, like I said, magnifies your intentions and really programs your oh, I don't know what I want to say at this point. Just add it. It's really important. But it's kind of amazing adding stones to the oils and just the fragrances that you're making, even your Florida water. It's really great. Anyway, that's it. Got my rose quartz in there. I've got all of my elements in there, and I've got my cleansing in there. So those are my components: my cleansing, my 4 elements, and now the last component I have is really sealing it. So now this is the time where I would really like lay my hands over my Florida water and really pray and just add my intentions one more time to my Florida water. So now I've prayed over my Florida water, right? So now I'm sealing it. Sealing in those prayers, sealing in my intentions, and now I'm done, right? No, I'm not. The last thing I want to do is my petition. So what I like to do is writing down my prayer again. I write it down, and I like to actually get some tape. I fold it up. Probably small enough. This is such a big container, but I like to fold it up. There's ways to fold things towards you, from you. I don't care right now. I think I'm just folding it to fold it. And what I want to do is actually tape it to the bottom of my jar. And I do this for everything. Like for instance, let me show you. For instance, right here I have a protection candle. I really kind of like this whenever I'm doing any kind of work. I'll like to light a little protection candle. And underneath this candle, oh my gosh, look at it now, is a petition that I have written down that signifies what this candle is supposed to be doing, my intentions for this candle. It's all off center. Whenever I light it. And so oh my gosh, I went through and I blessed this candle. I used herbs for protection, and I did lots of things. And lastly, I made a petition, and I folded it and I put it underneath, and now every time this candle is lit, it's like my intentions and my passion and my reason for doing what I did is relit, it's re-magnified, it's rekindled every single time, as if it was the first time. That's why I put my petitions underneath my candles that I make specifically for whatever reason I'm making them. That's what I do whenever I do that with my moon water even. I will, if I'm real serious about this particular moon and I was waiting for this moon all year long, whatever, I will write it down, I will pray over it, and I will stick it underneath. I do this for everything. So anyway, I'm gonna need tape, so I'm gonna have to leave and go get my tape. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my tape, I'm going to take my little petition, and I'm going to tape it right underneath. And now, as this sits, and that's the other thing I wanted to mention. So this thing is potent, right? It's a lot of alcohol. This is not going to go bad. This bad boy is, look at it. I mean, I might need to take out like one of the little citrusy, since they're like probably too many. But this bad boy is going to stay germ-free for the longest time. It's nothing but alcohol. There's nothing gonna get in here and mess it up. My goal is, I already have, very similar to my Olympia spray, I have a little spray bottle already sitting in my room that I use for Florida water. It already has some Florida water in it, and what I do though is what I do is when I'm out of my Florida water that I have in my room, is I will come back to this beautiful big batch, just take half of it into my little bottle, and then the other half is going to be distilled water. And there, boom, I've got more Florida water. This is going to be my mother batch. And I mean, I don't know how long. This is probably going to last me a decade. Like, look at this thing. It's a monster. It's a mammoth Florida water. I mean, the way I plan on using it. But whatever. I go through my Florida water actually pretty regularly. I spray it like every day I'm spraying it. And so I'm sure I'm going to go through it. But that is my goal. I'm going to keep this here like this, my mother batch, that I will, and if it starts to, as it goes down, I'll probably just add more alcohol or something. I probably won't do a big old batch like this again. I'll probably really be set for a good long time now. So that's it. That is my video on my Florida water. I'm sorry, I felt like I was really off today, but it doesn't matter, it's done, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you can incorporate some of the things that I mentioned into your recipe. Please, if you have any questions, if you have any comments at all, let me know. Put them down in the comments below and I will respond. But yeah, that's it. So I hope you enjoy making your Florida water. Bye.